Sometimes, before God uses a person greatly, He allows them to be broken deeply, not because He enjoys their pain, but because He wants to rebuild them into vessels that carry His glory, His power, and His compassion. The breaking is never to destroy. It is to produce a strength that cannot be shaken. The Bible is filled with men who went through breaking seasons they never expected, moments where they felt shattered, stripped, and pushed to the ground, yet these were the very moments God used to shape them into instruments of His purpose. Think about Jacob. All his life he lived by his own cleverness, his own tricks, his own strength. But one night, God wrestled with him until daybreak. Jacob was physically broken. His hip was dislocated, but that breaking changed him forever. He walked with a limp, yes, but he also walked with a new identity. Israel, the man who prevailed with God. Sometimes God breaks our pride so He can give us purpose. And then there is Joseph, a young man with dreams given by God, but instead of honor, he first met betrayal. His own brothers sold him. He was thrown into a pit, bought as a slave, falsely accused, and locked in prison. Joseph's breaking season was long, confusing, and painful, but it produced a man who could handle power without becoming proud, who could forgive without bitterness, and who could lead without crushing others. God breaks selfishness, impatience, and immaturity so He can produce character, humility, and wisdom. Look at Moses, raised as a prince in Egypt, strong and confident, but God couldn't use him until he was broken. Moses fled into the wilderness, spent 40 years forgotten, humbled, and alone tending sheep. But in that breaking, God removed fear, pride, and impulsiveness, and rebuilt him into a leader who could stand before Pharaoh, part the Red Sea, and shepherd a nation. Sometimes God breaks our plans to prepare us for His greater assignment. And then there is Elijah, bold, fiery, full of power, but even he reached a breaking point where he sat under a juniper tree and prayed to die. He felt empty, alone, and discouraged, yet God used that breaking moment to whisper to him, refresh him, and recommission him. Sometimes God breaks our strength so we can lean on His. Even Peter